$41,800 Bitcoin is very likely to hit in the month of January. In this video, I'm going to show you why, and I'll let you know what the implications of that will be pertaining to my origin wave theory video, which I'll link you at the end. Are you ready? You better be. Let's go. This is nearly all of Bitcoin price history. I am on the 2-day chart. You see two different types of figures here. You see arrows and you see a circle with a line through it. The arrows indicate where the red crosses below the purple. So we have three colors. We have red, purple, and orange. The red in bullish moves is on top. The arrows indicate when it's no longer on top and it goes below the purple. The circles here with the line through it, essentially meaning it means that the red got close to crossing the purple, essentially created what I call a skim play. So it skimmed on it, like landed like a plane and then took off. And so we're going to see what the differences are. And this is the major reason why I feel that there's a very, very high probability of roughly $42,000 Bitcoin in January being hit, and with a wick below perhaps to 41,800. And so let's dive into this and take a look. We'll start back in time. This is going to be July 2013. Did the red cross below yellow? No, it did not. And with the idea it did not cross, did price touch this orange line? No, it did not. No and no. Let's go to the next one. Red cross below purple. Did price go to or below the orange line? Yes, it did. This is August 2014. Red cross below purple. Did price either touch or go below the orange line? Well, you can already tell it did because the red line crossed below it as well. So it went straight to it, had a bounce, got squeezed out from the red below the orange. So you can see how after it hit this, price simply could not get back above the red. And as the red crossed, price tanked exactly at that squeeze. So the red squeezed price below the orange because price could not get back above the red. So that is a downside squeeze play. Very bearish. Our August 2016, red came down, looked like it was going to cross and did a skim play. Didn't quite touch it like 2013 did, but with this big down move in price, did price hit this orange line or go lower? No, it did not. Now let's go find the next one. This takes us to March 2018 after the 20,000K top of 2017. Red line crossed below purple. Did price inevitably hit or go below the orange line? Yes, it did. Did it get a bounce off there? Yeah, sure. But then it kept going lower because it could not stay above the red line. So you can see how after this, it based here. Look, it based there after this cross. All right, let's go to the next one. So all of this is 2019 and 2020 after Bitcoin raced from $3,200 back there, raced to 14K here, and then just had choppy sideways for an entire 2 years. Red crossed below purple. Did price hit or go below the orange line? Yes, it did. It based off there, gave a push, went below, pushed up, and then went back more below. After that push, it crossed back again a second time. Did price go to the orange line or lower? Yes, it did, as we already saw. Another one, red cross below purple. Did price go below the orange line or touch it? Yes, it did. It just tanked past. That's coronavirus. Let's keep scrolling more to current price. 64K previous top back in April. Red cross below purple. Did price come down and touch or go below the orange line? Yes, it did. It actually based off there for quite a while. More recently, in late September, early October, the red line did a skim play with the purple line. So therefore, because this didn't cross, do you think price wicked down to touch this orange line on the 2-day? No, it did not. Now, this is what's happening right now. Right now. Cross. Do you think price is going to hit the orange line? Raise your hands. It technically has already touched it, but that touched it before the cross. So that one technically doesn't count. The likelihood of this coming down to touch this line is very, very high. And as you saw in all the previous examples, not only did it touch it, yes, it tried to base, but you got wicks below. If you get a wick below at about like there, then you're going to hit $41,800, which is right at that point. Now you can see more and more why what is happening in Bitcoin right now with two of these arrows is looking similar to what happened in 2019 and 2020 with a lot of sideways action over a long period of time in a large range. So next what we're going to do is I'm going to put on my macro range of 30K to 60K, and let's see what aligns with this price target using purely EMAs. And if we get agreement between, hey, this is a good bounce point within this range roughly, also on EMAs, two totally different types of analyses agreeing, then it theoretically makes it slightly more probable or a slightly better target to be hit. And then we'll cover the implications on when the market's all going to heat up. It's probably going to be longer than what y'all are thinking, especially if you're looking at crypto YouTube and crypto Twitter a lot. The space in terms of influencers is full of permabulls, and you're not going to find this type of analysis anywhere else. So I'm trying to prepare you for the possibility this takes a lot longer than not only what you're thinking, but what you're being told to think. And again, what I'm saying is I'm not telling you to think this way, but what I am telling you is I really want you to consider this as a possibility, and a strong possibility at that. Oh my gosh, what is this coming out of my ear? Just kidding. Flip your phones or get flipped off. That's what it means. Take your phone, flip it vertically. Now, kindly hit the like button, especially returning viewers. Leave a comment down below or get pooped on by a crow. Just leave me a random comment down below to help the algo. Since your phone's already vertical, make sure that the bell is turned on to all alerts so I can deliver time-sensitive information to you more efficiently. We're in this together. Hit that bell. Now we're going to look at the macro range and make a good estimate on why February at the very earliest, or maybe May, or maybe even September is the point in which this market is going to heat up, which is a lot longer than what most people are thinking. Follow me on Twitter at @CosasVerdes2. Turn on your camera and microphone and ask me questions directly in live. Links to the Discord community in the description section. Are you interested in exclusive content that you cannot find anywhere else without joining a community? Hit the join button below this video to explore the options. Okay, here is your macro range. So let's see if 41,800 seems to align with anything. So in my previous videos, what have I been saying about this? This 5/8 line, I asked you very kindly, don't make fun of my 5/8 line because it's probably not going to be passed until this is hit. And I made a follow-up video saying, yes, CMEs technically did touch the top of this 3 times. So CMEs have permission to get above this line, which could pull up spot price, but spot price in and of itself still has not tested this after failing this line. Failing means it's tried to use it as support, then broke below and used it as resistance. So spot price technically still does not have permission to get above. It needs to hit this box. It needs a bouncy point before it can get back above. There is nothing but treading water here. So it's like a dolphin cannot go out of the water and make a splash completely like in the Little Mermaid. You can't do that unless you come from deeper. It has to go down in water, get velocity before it hits the surface, and then break it and then do a jump. This is like a dolphin at the surface of a water. It can't just do this Little Mermaid stuff here, right? It needs to go lower, then gain velocity to then break above the surface of the water. I know it sounds stupid, but I promise you the way price moves is so similar to basic physics of the world, whether it's jumping on a trampoline or a dolphin making a splash or whatever. It seems to work identically in many, many, many cases, if not the vast majority of cases. Let's zoom in to this blue box. You can see price on the very right-hand side, right above my ugly face here. The bottom of this box is at 41.7. So that means price might come down, find this area, maybe 41.8, 41.7, hit the bottom of the box, therefore be able to potentially get back above the 5/8 line, zooming out. So it just means something like this. And that would align with a potential January sell-off and a red month of January, similar to how I've been stating. And if you get a really strong bounce, then January could essentially be a doji candle where it has a very thin body, because the beginning of the month might start about here and the end of the month might end about here as well. If you get that bounce in January, check this out. Boom, 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 boom. And that is about February 1st. This is about January 1st. It's very possible that if this happens during January, it's a red doji candle, which on the monthly chart, if that happens above, so let's go to the monthly chart and take off this range. So this line is marking 41,800. It just means January starts about here, comes down, and ends about here, and is a red doji candle just above this monthly 10 EMA. And it could end up playing out similarly to how this did. Do you see how these two candles are falling into that red line? These two candles are falling into that red line, which is why in my previous video I said if Bitcoin doesn't close the Happy New Year, the month above 52K, that means these two are falling in, which means January will be red. However, if January's red, it's going to have that point of control at 41,800 and that line on the 2-day chart, the orange line, if you remember. So it does have a significant chance to be a bounce point. So I really feel that January has a high chance of being a doji candle, more likely red than not, but the color honestly doesn't matter. It's just mostly going to be a down month. And if that month closes a doji, February will likely also test down a little bit, similar to how this month did. It's a big green month, but after the roughly a doji candle or spinning top type of candle, still tested down, then flipped green. So this is why I think the very, very earliest that the market can heat up is the middle of February. It's simply not in the cards as of right now. It's not. Could that change? Absolutely. I've already shown you beyond a reasonable doubt that it's very probable that orange line on the first chart we're looking at with the arrows and the circles, it's very probable the orange line's going to be hit. So if the orange line's going to be hit, that means January, it's going to go down first. Could it bounce from there? Absolutely. So it's probably going to close a doji candle. along that line of thinking, if January is a doji candle, that doesn't show a ton of strength above this red line. So January closes something like this, a doji, February needs to test down, then flip green to show strength. And then the market could potentially resume, but you're going to have very, very likely a retest for the first maybe 8 days or so of February. But a doji candle above this line, if January closes like that, it doesn't guarantee that February won't go lower. It does not guarantee that won't happen. Rather, what it's stating is it's very likely February is the very earliest that it's statistically even remotely possible that you're going to see a turnaround in this market. And I know your brain is being flooded by permabulls out there on crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube. So I hope this is compelling, because disappointment is the result of setting expectations that aren't met. So if you can expect this as a strong possibility, if not, actually, this is a probability at this point. Do you see? This is a probability. So even if you don't want to believe it, just know that crap, this could easily happen. So therefore, if it does happen, your expectations won't be broken and you're not going to lead to disappointment, which then that disappointment leads you to exiting crypto, and then you're going to miss the glory. I promise you, right when you get out of crypto and you said, I'm done with this crap, that's exactly when it's going to go up and you're going to miss it. So you need to have healthy expectations. And I'm really sorry that most of the crypto information you're getting isn't helping you with that. It's not helping. Could I be wrong with this? Yes, but at least I'm freaking here trying to help, right? Now I'll go to a different time frame and put back on the macro chart in the event that February does test lower, what that might mean for longer time frames when Bitcoin will start heating up, and so will the whole market. Instead of editing this portion out, what I'm going to do here is talk to you real fast about, especially for new viewers, my thoughts on the market are that Bitcoin is going to range for several more months while altcoins bleed. I really, really think that Bitcoin, well, personally, I think Bitcoin's undervalued, but I think most of crypto is way overvalued. Even I personally, I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. I think Ethereum is overvalued. I think it's a $500 billion market cap almost. It's too much. And I think Solana way overvalued. I think the stuff all needs to calm down. I don't think a big crash is going to happen. I think it's going to be a slow bleed. And I think that bleed is going to happen at least until the second week of February. And I just showed you that it's probable that that is going to happen. However, my origin wave theory is saying more along the lines of September, which means I need to extend this box farther that way. But let's just say that January bounces, comes up, closes right about the point it started, roughly February 1st. So you get that doji candle. Then February tests lower and it doesn't get a bounce. It just fails, comes down, hits somewhere closer to either 38K or somewhere closer to 35K. I would guess that this will hold up because on a weekly scale, I think intra-week you would test down, bounce up, close the candle, have a very strong chance, because I don't think that a lot of buyers and bullish people are going to want the weekly trend to be broken. If a week closes below this area, the weekly trend is now down for the second time in the same 12-month span, which is what happened in 2019 and 2020. It's starting to look exactly like that, folks. So if that idea is true, then you get a bounce and you have this January bounce from here, February test down lower, you start working your way out, come up, consolidate, bust out. That puts you in summer, somewhere around May. However, the way Bitcoin moves is sometimes when it finds a true bounce point, it moves a hell of a lot faster than this. So that could be more like April. January does this, closes doji, February tests down, can't find a thing, wicks below the weekly support where the trend now becomes down, but it closes that same week up here and then really, really starts charging out and breaks out. That would be roughly late April or early May. So now we have the second week of February, the very earliest that things can start heating up. The next option is things can start heating up. And I would consider this heating up. So this is April. So things can start heating up in April as well. Even before it breaks out of here, I would consider that heating up because it would start moving up pretty fast. February or April when things start heating up. But now that we're starting to look more and more like 2019, and again, I'm going to link you to this video, it is very, very possible that something in terms of this time frame happens. So regardless of the up and down motion of all these candles, not how far up and down it goes, just the time frame, right? That would put you to June. However, Bitcoin is now a bigger asset, so it's going to move more slowly. So if you take that fractal, stretch it out to some reasonable degree, slightly bigger for the market cap to adjust for market cap, that puts you closer to September. And it gives you a reasonable consolidation under this breakout point so that you can break out with some steam and really get a nice pop well beyond 100K. And my origin wave theory video gives really good reasons why September might be the target for when this breaks out of this box. Would Bitcoin have good gains before September? Absolutely. Getting from the middle to the top of the box, that's a 20K move. You could get some good moves in the meantime. But I'm talking about when crap starts really flying, when Bitcoin breaks out of there, it could be September. Click this video to watch my origin wave theory, and watch this video if you want to learn how to set up a chart like mine and be able to understand other price analysts a lot better instead of watching shillers on YouTube. And if you're new and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Click the circle right here in the middle. It has a present inside for you. You just got Timified worldwide. Peace.